items in your taxi. Bonsoir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Thank you, Mr. President. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ari Perikowitz. Mr. Mayor, City Councilor, I am a taxi driver who has worked in the industry for 44 years. In the last 4 years, I have received 7 tickets for having religion objects which are presently being contested on constitutionality grounds before the municipal court in Montreal. By religion object, I mean a very small photo of my rabbi and 2 small securely fastened car mezuzahs which are well as a Canadian poppy, a Quebec and a Canadian flag, and a photo of my family. And my question is, how do you justify spending tens of thousands of taxpayer dollars to prevent me from exercising my right to freedom of religion when Borough of LaSalle Mayor Madame Manon Barbe, who also happens to be the executive committee member responsible for transportation, and the Bureau de Taxi, continues to say Christian prayers before every council meeting in the Borough of LaSalle?
Thank you, sir, for your question. To answer your question,
My question is there one law for poor taxi drivers and another for elected city officials? What is your position on the issue? Do you believe it is okay to pray before public meetings, but not okay for a taxi driver to discreetly carry tokens of their faith in their vehicles?
Thank you, sir, for your question. To answer your question, Madame Barbe.
Merci, Monsieur le Président. Good evening, Mr. Arik. To be honest with you, I am not aware of this situation having those religious items in your car and being against any kind of bylaw for the taxi drivers. And as I mentioned to the taxi driver just coming to us prior to you, I'm going to meet the people from the Bureau de Taxi next week. We have a meeting to discuss many issues brought up by the industry of the taxi, and I'll make sure that this issue will be discussed at the meeting next week. But for the moment, I have no idea of what you're talking about. I'm not aware of this bylaw on the industry of the taxi. Sorry about that.
Thank you, Madame Barbe. So, sir, if you have a sub-question,
yes,
I'm ready to listen to you, but your question directly, please.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mayor, Madame Manon Barbe, the question is very simple. The bylaw was changed 3 times so far. And right now, presently, it's a brand new bylaw as of June. There is an article in that bylaw which is very discriminatory in its many interpretation by the Bureau de Taxi, the way they're interpreting that particular bylaw. I would very much like you to consider to evaluate as to whether the interpretation of this particular bylaw, the article that concerning my case, which is 4 years before the court, whether it is, in fact, discriminatory. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Rotran.
Good evening, Mr. Perkowitz. I'm aware of your case. I have read about it in the local media, and I believe we actually met the first ticket that you got many years ago. And I remember advising you at that time to go to court and to contest the ticket on the grounds that you expressed this evening. I will brief Madame Barbe because I know she meets with the Bureau de Taxi. I understand that the Bureau has had a rigid interpretation of the articles in the bylaw which prevent drivers from having objects other than that which is necessary to drive their cabs inside their cabs. And I understand you have been ticketed for having a picture of your family and for having a picture of your rabbi as well as a mezuzah. I do not know the circumstances of the case. I don't believe there's been a judgment in your case. I believe you recently argued in front of the court, and there may be a judgment incessantly. But in any event, I will brief Madame Barbe so that if we have any pointed questions for the Bureau de Taxi as to their interpretation, it would be better known to the members of the Executive Committee so they could probably follow up on your question. I'd like to leave it there this evening, but you have our assurances that we welcome what you said at the microphone and we will seriously look at whether this article is discriminatory or not.
Thank you, Mr. Rotran. Thank you, Mr. Perikovics. Have a nice evening.